This is situational, Your Honor. This is not a pattern.
He's saying, I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time, as though, hey, this wasn't about me. It has the gun in a backpack that was under his bed with drugs in the backpack, and his identification is in that backpack. Here are your choices. There are no other choices. Number one, I'll send you to prison for 2 years. Number two, I'll grant your application and you'll be on probation for 8 years.
An ex-gangster plays dumb about a gun found in his backpack. And while his lawyer scrambles to play the he's been clean for 20 years card, this no-nonsense judge calls his bluff with cold hard evidence before hitting him with a brutal choose your fate ultimatum. Welcome back to Justice Judged. Let's head straight into the courtroom.
And are you Mr. Rivas?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here today for sentencing. You entered a plea to the offense of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 9 years in the prison. There's a $1,200 fine, and the state is opposed to your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and the TAP evaluation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. State, you're opposed. Do you have any witnesses? Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, I think just argument based on information that we have.
All right, the court will hear argument. State.
Your Honor, we ask that you deny applications. While Mr. Rivas doesn't have extensive felony history, he does have a history of arrest, and these arrests or convictions show a pattern. Each time Mr. Rivas is given a chance for probation, he is subsequently revoked. Mr. Rivas has done trips both to TBC and to East State Jail. He was convicted of a UUMD, and he was convicted of an assault family second, which he received 4 years. He also received some misdemeanor convictions. Like I said, he does get probation and then subsequently revoked. Most notable, I would say, judges in the narrative for the PSI states that he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. However, Mr. Rivas has chosen to now live with that same brother Samuel, which is the alleged offense, or the individual who's home the alleged offense occurred at. Because of this, Judge, I would just allege to the court that Mr. Rivas continues to put himself in situations that allow him to make choices that criminalize, the community and give him an opportunity to engage in these acts. So because of that, I don't think he's a good candidate for probation, and they could go sentence to a cap of 9.
All right, defense.
Judge, all the characterization that we just heard about Mr. Rivas was from when he was 27 years old. 2006 was the last time that he was convicted of an offense. And in my speaking to him and going over the PSI, when he was 27, he was affiliated. He was a gang member. He was involved in what the prosecution calls a pattern of criminal behavior. But if the court looks at in 2006, that stops. When he got out of prison, he had 1 arrest for possession of less than a gram, and that's it. Other than this case, since 2006, this is 2026. That's 20 years, Judge. For 20 years, he's been out working, not violating the law with the sense of 1 arrest. Again, that was 2010. That was over a decade ago. But for 20 years, that's all he has. Nothing else. No thefts, no domestic violence, no current gang affiliation. He went straight. And at the time that he was arrested, he was working, but he didn't have a place to stay. So he stayed with his brother. His brother's a bad dude, but it's his brother. It's his only place to stay. And what Mr. Rivas meant when he said, put me in a bad situation is if he wouldn't have been there, this probably wouldn't have happened. The reason he still lives there now is because he has no other place to live, Your Honor. He is working on that. I spoke to him about that. I said, if the court grants probation, the court's probably going to want you to find an alternate housing. He said he can do that. This is situational, Your Honor. This is not a pattern, like the DA said. This is one incident we're here for, and he hasn't been in court for 10 years. He hasn't been convicted of anything or done any time on anything, even a minor offense, for 20 years, Judge. 20 years. We don't see that very often. He got his life together. I'd hate to see him go to prison for this status offense. And for that reason, Your Honor, I'd ask you to give him that chance on probation. Probation will actually help him at this time,
Now,
yes.
how do you address the fact that the state is saying that he's never done well on probation?
Same way, Judge, is when he was 27, he didn't do well on probation. For the same reason he kept getting arrested, for the same reason he kept getting convicted. For those 20 years where he's remained pretty much clean, that shows a change, which means the 27-year-old who couldn't do probation is not the same man who stands before you today.
And why did he have a gun?
He shouldn't have had a gun, Judge. He was carrying his backpack for protection. So, and he clearly violated the law. He knows that, Judge. He's not.
All right, because and let me just tell everyone, the reason why I'm asking the questions is because in the PSI, he's saying I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time, as though, hey, this wasn't about me. And I will tell you, in the stipulations, this wasn't about him. It was about his brother. That's why they're there. And then the police in the stipulation say he has a backpack. They go to his room. The backpack is, I think, under the bed or something.
Yes, sir.
And inside the backpack is the weapon and some drugs. And so I'm trying to understand that. But I'm so sorry. Let me let you all step back just a little bit because I have an interpreter here and
Certainly, Judge.
we have a limited number of
course.
interpreters. So and then you can discuss what my
Okay.
concerns are.
Sure.
All right, we're back on the record in 2025 CR 012282, State versus Danny Rivas. Can I have parties re-announce, please?
Lauren Smith for the state.
Jared Baker for the defendant, Your Honor.
All right. So defense, have you had a chance to think about the court's concerns? Yes.
And Judge, I'm glad we had that break. Everything happens for a reason. I've been on vacation for a long time, so my mind isn't quite back in the game yet.
Yeah.
Mr. Rivas reminded me back there that I spoke up and I said, you had it for self-defense, didn't you? Yes. I said, that was not the case, Judge. He did. I asked him a question. He trusts me. He answers yes because. So, Judge, we were back there and he said, Mr. Baker, no, you told me that, because here's the issue, Judge. It wasn't just that one firearm in the backpack. There were guns everywhere in the house.
Mhm.
And what I told Mr. Rivas is, if he is in the area of guns where he has access to them, he's in possession, right? And so that's the reason we pled him out. And I had forgotten that, Judge. Didn't make that detail of notes. So that's his position in this case, Judge.
It's the only reason why I'm asking. The PSI report that have statements that are alleged to be from your client, it's saying something different than what's in the stipulated evidence, because in the stipulated evidence, it has the gun in a backpack that was under his bed with drugs in the backpack, not the weight that was throughout the house, but a lesser weight in the backpack.
Yes.
And his identification is in that backpack. But in the PSI, he says, I was getting ready for work at the wash tub. I walked out of the bathroom and the police were in the house. The police found a weapon in the house somewhere. I was arrested because I was the only one in the house. I was not living there at the time. I just spent the night at my brother's house, Samuel. I can't blame anyone, but I didn't know it was there. And it says, how do you feel about the plea agreement in your upcoming sentence? I don't understand it. I have not been in trouble in 14 years. I have never had a gun case. When you say possession of a firearm, that means to me that it was on me, but it was not. So.
Yes, Judge. And when he said he doesn't understand what he's told me that many times, what he means, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Rios, is why they're, in his mind, being so hard on him because of his lack of a record. Like he doesn't understand why they're, why the cap was so high, things like that. In other words, he doesn't understand why their rationale, I'm not questioning their rationale. They have a job to do based on their own, but that was what he meant by that.
Do either side, do y'all need to review the stipulations?
What I would just reiterate for the court is in those stipulations, the DPS troopers conducting surveillance. Right in their report, which was stipulated to that they observed Mr. Rivas wearing that blue backpack prior to them entering that home, in which they found in the bedroom between the wall and the bed that same blue backpack. So circumstantially, it would be linked to him, given that his identification was inside of that bag they saw him previously wearing.
I don't think that is what the offense reports say, and that is what the trooper said, but the videos, I guess we would dispute that fact to the extent that, I'm not disputing the trooper says that, but yeah. But he checked into the jail with his ID. He had his ID with him when he went to jail.
Okay. So the stipulated evidence says his ID was in the backpack. Am I wrong in reading that? Let me see.
No, that's what it says, Judge.
So you're saying the ID wasn't in the backpack?
That's what he just told me out now. Said he had him at the jail when he was booked in.
Do you need to review the stipulated evidence?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. And then you all can come back up whenever you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to add, counsel?
No, Your Honor, we accept the factual narrative of the stipulations, Judge.
All right. So I think everyone understands this is the court's concerns with your client and whether or not I should grant his application. One, I do realize that you're saying, everyone, please whisper as though you're spies. My problem is he's had several chances at probation and every last one of them have been revoked. Now I weigh that against the length of time it's been. But then when you look at this case, the PSI, what he is saying is something completely different in the stipulations. And so I have to weigh that because it seems that he's being not truthful with the PSI, what he's saying in the PSI and what the stipulations say. So these are all things that I'm weighing. Now, the other thing, what is happening with his brother?
The mystery to me.
The
mystery to us.
Yes. Who has the drug cases?
They do see the waiting trial.
Okay.
Looks like it's set in 2026 on 5/27.
All right.
And it's the first study since spring during October 25.
Oh, who's that? All right, State, anything else you'd like to add? All right, State, you may be excused. All right, Mr. Rivas, if you're drug tested today, what will the results be?
I'm still on PSI. I think the whole time I've been on there, changed the whole time. I've been on almost a year and a half.
Okay. So this location with your brother,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have another place to stay? Because that's not acceptable to the court. So if you have another place to stay, why are you not already at that other location?
That's the first person I looked to.
I'm sorry, what?
That's the first person I looked to with my brother. I have a younger brother. That's my other brother.
All right, how old are you?
47.
All right, why don't you have a place of your own?
Then when all this happened, what is this just asked?
Well, no, I mean, you didn't because according to the stipulations, you were staying with your brother.
No, I
Just-
spent the night.
Yeah, he was stipulation. He wasn't living there at the time. He actually had a girlfriend, right? At the time he was living with his girlfriend. He would go to his brother's often and stay there.
Why?
Well, the last time was because he's not getting along with his girlfriends. That's where he would go when they would fight.
All right. I'm going to give you a choice. Here are your choices. There are no other choices. Number one, I will find you guilty. I'll send you to prison for 2 years. Number two, I'll grant your application. It will be a conviction and you'll be on probation for 8 years. I mean, you need to tell me, which do you choose?
Probation.
He's confident, Judge, that he stayed out of trouble a long time, that you're not going to regret that. He's,
I'm a totally different person. With this.
and you're going to stay away from your brother. Right?
Yeah.
Well, she'll probably require that anyway.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Probation, are you ready? Court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 9 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. No residing with Samuel Rivas after do you have a place to stay other than with your brother today?
No, not today.
When will you have a place to stay?
3 weeks. Or then I'll find somewhere to go. I asked when I went to inside probation if it would help me with kind of shelter or something. They said it would be able to help me.
Okay.
I don't mind doing that. I'm a grown man. I can stay with another grown man. It's fine.
All right, no residing with Samuel Rivas after June 22nd. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 8 months. I'm sorry, for 5 months. There's to be no residing in households with minors.
Did he answer? He might be.
There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order the MRT. Just one. All right, once the MRT is completed, 150 hours were deemed satisfied. The remaining hours can be completed by completing sober support meetings. For every sober support meeting completed, an hour will be deducted from the community service restitution. There's a $1,200 fine, and that will be probated. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am. I just the other place, the PSI, the other one, do I have to call and tell them that? Do I start to report to them?
You'll speak to probation.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it
Yes, ma'am.
and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have any question about that, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a
Thank you.
wonderful day.